Hello and welcome to Scottish Football Matters with myself, Lorenzo, and my good friend Murray.
All right.
As I do this live from Arbroath, because I'm up at Arbroath for a wee break, but we don't take breaks here. We're doing this. We're hardcore, aren't we? And tonight we're going to be discussing yet more twists and turns at the weekend there in the Scottish Premiership, with Celtic and Rangers both winning to capitalise on Hearts drawing their game and dropping points. But this is going to be a topsy-turvy title race.
No, it's
What do you think? How are you doing?
still only 1 week where they've all won.
Aye. How are you
And
doing?
when you think I'm good, I'm good. But it's mad to think that start's still going. One
Ah,
weekend that we've all won, and let's be honest,
I
there's
know.
6 games to go, and in three of them, it's not going to happen because we play each other. So there's only
Yep.
three more weekends where we could all win, and honestly, I'd be surprised if it happens again
Well,
because
you never know.
I don't think they'll all win next weekend.
Well, I hope
So
we win for a start.
of course, you always hope your own team wins, but
Yep.
you have to look at it. You'd be looking at it and going, Rangers away to Falkirk is a drawable game, and
Hmm.
Hearts against Motherwell is it's always a drawable
Yep.
game, or
I
even
could
a
be.
loss. I mean, I don't see Rangers and Hearts or Celtic losing a lot of games between now and the end, but I think we're all capable of drawing.
Yep, that's certainly been the case
Um,
so far.
but yeah, I suppose best place to start is I think we should start with the relegation stuff because
Right.
obviously there was a big relegation battle at the bottom, and I
Aberdeen
have to
lost to St
say
Mirren.
that St Mirren were brilliant from
Hmm.
what I've seen, especially in the first 45. I thought it was 1-0 going on 4 or 5. I thought they
Hmm.
were excellent, and you can see that he's had a good couple of weeks with that group now, the boy McLeish, because
Yep.
they're they're wee passing triangles. They they constantly had. uh, It did help, right? Having a Ayunga and Mandron back up
Yep.
front is always going to help because I don't think Lundaloo and I forget the other boy's name that's played up top. Um, they're not quite the same standard, or maybe not standard, but physicality. Like Ayunga, I think he's excellent at what he does.
Ayunga.
Aye, and I mean you've seen it yourself in that cup final. Like he's a
Hmm.
good striker. Can he keep himself fit, which is a problem
No.
for someone. But yeah, I thought St were excellent. Aberdeen did come into it a wee bit in the second half, but you know, I don't think they got a shot on target the whole game, which in a relegation battle, that has got to be concerning.
That's bad. Yep.
I wouldn't be that concerned if you didn't score, right? But if you're not even got a shot on target in a must win game,
It's worrying.
if I was Stephen Robinson, I'd be really worried because normally you get that bounce. But
Hmm.
Aberdeen obviously sacked Tulane.
Oh, ages ago.
Leaving came in and they didn't get a bounce. And
Hmm.
then they brought in Robinson and they've still not got a bounce. And that would concern me that there's an attitude issue, I would say, more than anything else. And they're not running for each other. They're not. Wait, they look, honestly, they look destined for the championship. They really
Hmm.
do. Because,
I thought Robinson would have been able to have the their number, as in be able to beat St Mirren because he just recently managed them, so he should know how they play.
yeah, but if your players aren't running,
I know
you're on to plums, aren't you?
that's right.
Look, let's be honest. It isn't a good sign when the
No,
players
it
don't
isn't.
seem to be putting in the effort because you kind of seen it. Like when Russell Martin's last few games with Rangers players, they weren't running. You kind of seen it when Nancy, when Celtic lost a goal, the sort of heads went down. The players
That's right.
weren't they quite.
Mhm.
I'm not saying they weren't trying, but
They just weren't
they
getting
weren't.
his ideas and his philosophy, whatever it was. They
I
just weren't getting it.
I just think that Stephen Robinson's quite a simplistic manager. If you can't get that you run about, you work hard, you fight for every first and second ball, if you can't get that, there's a big problem.
Hmm.
Because I thought that would be the bare minimum. He would get them working harder and more organised. But I look at the games. I mean, I think the last game before the splits, Hibs, and I don't know. I don't know that you'd be putting money on them getting anything off a team that hasn't been beaten in 5,
No.
then I'd be concerned because, as I said, Kilmarnock look shite away from home. We know that. We'll come to them.
Yep.
But at home, I expect them to win. Whether they've got 2 or 3 after the split, I expect them to win their home games.
Aberdeen are getting dragged into this relegation fight, aren't they?
Well, it's not just dragged into it. They now, to me, look like the favourites to finish 11th. Because I look at St Mirren and think, aye, they might not get into Parkhead, right? But after the split, if they've got a home game at Dundee United or Dundee, you'd fancy them.
Kilmarnock
And
have
you'd
been poor as
certainly
well,
fancy them. You'd fancy them to beat Livingston, or you'd fancy them to beat Aberdeen again. If you're honest, you would.
Aye, probably.
They just looked hungrier, and yeah, if I was an Aberdeen fan, which obviously I'm not, I would be massively concerned that they're not doing the basics. It's not looking good. It's
I
not
don't
looking
want them
good at all.
relegated though, because I think they're a big club and they shouldn't be getting
I
relegated.
do. So
I know you, but I don't want them done.
I just, yeah. But yeah. I mean, I think right now, if you're a betting man, you'd put your money on Dundee, St Mirren, and Kelly picking up more wins, based on what you can see at the moment.
Yeah.
If we move on to, I suppose we'll touch on Kelly now because same old, isn't it? When they don't have their rugby park surroundings, they don't look good. I don't think it helps that you lose a goal after 13 seconds.
No, it certainly does not. No.
And it probably didn't help that we went 2 down after 12 because I actually thought the majority of the game after that, they were the better side. But it's easy to be the better side 2-0 down. You know, it's because, you know, the team in 2-0 up might take their foot off the gas. And I have to say, though, I thought the offside goal was quite unlucky. I don't know if you've seen this one, that the boy goes off the pitch, right? And technically, because he's off the pitch, the goalkeeper becomes the last man.
Yeah.
And I don't like that because the boy's coming back on the pitch. It's not like he's went off the pitch and stayed off the pitch. He comes back on.
If he comes back on, then he's offside though.
No, but to me, no, the boy that came off would be the defender playing him onside for me.
Right.
But because I can't remember who it is, it's somebody crosses it for Curtis to score. But the player that crossed it, technically he's offside because the guy is off the pitch and the goalkeeper becomes the next line and he's behind him. But I was just like, well, that's pish because the guy came back on the pitch like 2 seconds later.
Yeah, it's a daft rule.
I don't like it. And if that had went 2-1 at that point, because I think that was in the first half,
different game.
It could have been a different game. But I think that big boy Soto scored again. I think he looks a right handful. I know he caused you some problems at Parkhead. I can't remember him doing much against us, but he certainly looks a big unit. And
he does.
When he comes up against Hearts, and he's the sort of player you'd like in your team in a derby, wouldn't you? He looks like the sort of guy that'll heed his granny to get the ball, you know. But I have to say, Hibs are in a good bit of form. I mean, I think they're unbeaten in 5. They've, 3 draws in there. But as you say, I see it with Rangers. Obviously, sometimes it is just good to keep over that unbeaten habit because you know you start to think you're not going to get beat when you are 1-0 down. So I think
if you keep losing, you get into that habit of losing. You can't get out of it. It's a rut.
And Hibs are now 3 behind Motherwell. And I'm just going to go on form, right? If Hearts were to beat Motherwell at the weekend, and Hibs beat Aberdeen, which you would say the latter's definitely going to happen.
They could leapfrog them. Or get close to them anyway.
Well, the same points. They probably wouldn't catch them on goal difference. I think they're about 9 behind. But still, to go into the split on the same points, you'd be feeling, you know, Hibs could certainly finish 4th. But I wouldn't write Motherwell off yet.
No,
I suppose that's a good segue into the Motherwell game because absolutely full credit to John McGinn and his team. 6th place finish. And I have to say that first goal's a peach. That ball in by Calvin Miller should be in that Scotland. We were talking the other day about the 55-man squad.
Uh-huh.
Calvin Miller should be in it. I'm not saying he should go to the World Cup, right? But he shouldn't be far away.
I don't think he
Because
will be in it, though, do you? Do you think
he
you'll
should
pick
be.
him
And
for
so
the
should
for the
Barney
50
Stewart,
man,
because we need to
55?
be picking players who are on form.
Aye, that
And
definitely.
right now, Calvin Miller has the most assists in the SPL, and Barney Stewart's the
Barney
form
Stewart.
striker.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
They should be in that squad. I mean, that header's an absolute peach. Like, that was like, I mean, you'll remember the days of, Sutton, Hartson. I'll probably remember the days of Haitley, Boyd scoring headers
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Aye.
This kid came for university and did a wee bit of time at Dunfermline on loan. And honestly, I think he's a natural finisher. I've said it for a while that, Rangers should be all over it. But right now for
Maybe
Falkirk, he's a
Celtic as
useless
well, because
player.
we're needing a striker.
But what I would say though is Motherwell were desperately unlucky with two big decisions,
Aye.
because to me it is a penalty after 7 minutes. And it would have been a red card, even though I think we all agree it shouldn't be a red card, because all he does is fall in the back of him. But because the rules state if you don't make an obvious attempt for the ball, do you know what it should be? They should change the rule to if it's if it's a like if you've tugged them back, things like that, fair enough. But like if you just clip legs, like that's not the same as I'd say if you deliberately foul someone
Then
in
it's a
that
red.
position, it should be a red. But see if it's just accidental, like make it a yellow. And
Aye.
but either way, I also thought the Falkirk penalty was soft.
Yep, another soft one.
But at the same time, it annoys you because you see that in every game, and when you start seeing them given, you want them yourself.
Of
And
course.
I mean, we will talk about it at the Celtic game that Ian Atchell is a slight push on the boy. For me, he's just stronger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're seeing penalties given, you can understand why people are going, well, that's a foul. And I don't want them to be fouls, I'll be honest, but all I'm going to talk about is just the inconsistency there of, for me, a nothing challenge
I also
should
think
be
there
a
was a
penalty.
tug. Well, when we go into the Celtic
I
game, there
will,
was a
but
tug on one of the players going forward as well, Celtic's players, and there should
I'm
have been a
just I'm
booking or
just using
something
that
on that
one as
as
an
well.
example because it was quite similar. That it was just, for me, it was just being stronger. There wasn't a tug, there wasn't a pull. It was just a wee wrestle.
Aye.
And yeah, but anyway, Barney Stewart scores. Then Elliot Watt scores a lovely goal, but it's a Scott Bain howler. But I have to credit the volley because the technique's lovely. I mean,
Yeah.
volley outside the box. It's
Nice.
just a shame
Very
that
nice.
Scott Bain makes it look like a pure shit goal because he decides to make an arse of it. But then Motherwell be Motherwell. They try to play out for the back and they overplay. They've done it a few times against Celtic, and they did it again.
Aye.
Sometimes you just need to play it up the line,
That's it.
and you wonder where Motherwell would be if they had a bit more of a pragmatic style,
They'd
as
be maybe
well as the
further up
nice
the league.
football, because they are a great football team to watch. But
They'd be a
I
lot
feel
closer to
that
Celtic anyway.
Falkirk are a better balance of being pragmatic and nice football. But again, credit to Falkirk.
See the boy Stewart, Barney Stewart. You're talking about him. It's all right you saying that Rangers and/or Celtic should be looking at this boy, but playing for Celtic and Rangers is totally different to
It
playing
is,
for
but
Falkirk. Do
an
you
actual
think do you
finisher's
think
an
he could
actual
make
finisher.
that step up
Absolutely,
to any of the two teams?
absolutely, because we've seen Scott McDonald do it, we've seen Nacho Novo do it, we've seen Chris Boyd do it, we've seen Stephen Naismith do it.
Aye.
If you can score goals in this league, you can score them at any team. It's different when you're like a Michael O'Halloran, right? Because his attribute was pace. You don't get that at Rangers because if you've got 8 men behind the ball, you can't make the same runs in behind that you're going to do. So I think it works for certain types of players and not for others.
Yeah.
And I think like everyone's always clamoured for, Martin Boyle to join Celtic or Rangers, right? But I've always said he wouldn't get that pace in behind. He wouldn't get all that space.
That's right.
Because
I don't think he would either.
but he would probably be a good player in Europe.
He would be.
You know, he probably would, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't score the goals because, you know, when Celtic play teams and Rangers play teams, no one is letting you run into that half unless it's just a counter.
That's right.
And nah, I think, but to me, he looks like a penalty box striker. And if you're a penalty box striker, if you can do it to one team, you can do it to any team.
Fair enough.
For me. Now on to obviously Rangers, the Saturday game. It was a really weird game because a lot of it was comfortable
Mm-hmm.
and parts weren't.
Well, when it went to 3-2, it was kind of a bit. I was like, that is this going to
Do you know
finish
what I would
each?
say though is I think Rangers obviously Roman's getting injured, can't be helped, right? But I think we made 3 changes in the back line and 4 if you include moving Giga to a different position. And I just think it looked like a team that had made 4 changes in the back line because they were all over the place. And I don't want to individually slate Suter or Magoma and say they're not as good as Romans and Fernandez, but
Yeah.
it just looked like a back 4 that hadn't played together much. And by
That
the way,
usually is the case.
the
It
Dundee
normally happens.
United second goal's a peach. I don't care what anyone says. That even against Rangers' best players, that goal's a good goal.
Another peach against Rangers from
They
Dundee
always
United.
fucking do it. The first goal was a bit shit, but that was all right, actually. It was shit from the point of view that John Suter should know better than to show a right-footer infield. Like, come on. But if we talk through the game, I think for the first half hour, I thought it was quite even, if I'm honest. I didn't think there was much in it. And then
No, there wasn't.
I think if we're honest, right, we'll praise Asgard, right, because his wee skill is good and the shot is good, but it's a howler for the keeper. In
Keeper should
terms
be
of,
getting that and doing better.
well,
Yeah.
not so much he should be just tipping it over. Like,
Aye,
what's
that's
he
what I
trying
mean.
to
Well,
do?
he
You
should
know,
be at least reaching it. Aye.
I mean, he sort of just hams it into Nadiri's path, and fair play to Nadiri for following up, but
Howler for the goalie, though.
it was shit goalkeeping. Like,
Yeah.
in second goal, I don't think the keeper can do much about, but I think again Asgard does well, gets the ball in. I think Skov Olsen heads it towards Sterling, who flicks it towards the back post, and they can't really keep it out. And you know, it's not a pretty goal, but it's an important goal. But then, obviously, as I said, Dundee United got the park. John Suter shows Fata inside, and you can't do that. He looks a good player though. That Amar Fata.
He does. He does. But
I've
Suter,
got
I
to
mean,
admit,
that's the worry. You've got him going to the World Cup and all.
yeah, but he's great with Scotland because he's a siege defender. Like there was a bit late on, right, where he puts his body in the line and like blocks it with his head. He's brilliant at that. But positionally, he's hopeless
Right.
for what Rangers need. But like with Scotland, when you play, like it's all about blocks and tackles. He's good at that. He's a defender who can do the last ditch stuff, but he can't do the positional and the actual defending part. Like,
Well,
I
that's what
think
he's
I've
supposed
got
to
to
be.
admit,
He's supposed to be a
I think
defender.
I think you probably see the same things with Scales.
Aye, to be fair,
Scales
aye.
is very similar. That when the backs are to the wall, he puts his body in the line. He puts everything. He's an
He
honest
can do
pro.
that. He can do that, aye.
But in terms of he can get dragged about and look a bit shit
But he's,
against a clever striker.
he's all right at times, but he's not. I
Aye.
wouldn't say he's a great defender, no.
No, but do you know what I mean? No, but when your back's to the wall, you probably like him in the back line because he'll
Aye.
be blocking things. And
I mean, in Europe, he's had a few man of the matches
yeah,
in the
and
Champions League and that.
look at Suter in Europe. He's always reliable. So I think there's similarities there that both teams should be looking to. They should be backups. That's all I'm saying. They should be players that you bring in for certain.
Hopefully
games.
that's the case next season, and Celtic can improve their backline.
But yes, I think into the second half, and obviously Rangers make 2 changes. Skov Olsen again whipped off at half time. It's not getting any better.
He's only on loan, isn't he? Aye.
Yeah.
Well, have you got an obligation to buy him?
Just an option.
Well, I don't think he'll be taking that option up because he's not really done much, has he?
Not unless he scores 6 and 6.
Well,
which it certainly doesn't look like it. But I've got to say again, Asgard. Well, what I'll say is first though, Gassama made a big difference, and I've always said this. he's so much better against tiring players. And I know that was half time, but see with him running against players who have ran about for 45 minutes, he just
Aye.
looks like an absolute beast. But he's not very good when Tech is similar, isn't he's not
Aye,
very good
Tonight,
when he starts games.
that's right. He's a better player off the bench.
And Gassama was great, and his wee cutback for Asgard's finish was good. Then obviously Dundee United scored a peach. I thought it was a lovely move. We get ripped open like a cheap packet of crisps, honestly, but you need to just say, like, sometimes you do need to just go, that was good.
A 10p packet of Space Raiders.
Aye, that's what it was like. Those pure shitty old, no, pure shittier ones and that just like opened if you looked at them. But and then obviously Rangers, it was nervy, but they got the fourth, and they got the fourth for the guy that I predicted would score. Miovski is the most natural finisher we have. I'd say he's quite similar to Iheanacho, who we're going to talk about, in that he seems to be the guy that you want on the end of your chances. But
he can't get a game from the beginning anyway. Can't get a game for the start.
But I think he should be starting against the Falkirk game anyway. But we'll see. But I think again, Rangers did. They might be peaking at the right time, but I'll tell you that more in a few weeks, because what I would say is, like, when obviously Rangers went out the cup, there was obviously, you can imagine, disappointment. They've responded well by beating St Mirren, Aberdeen, Dundee United. I expected them to, and I do expect them to beat Falkirk, even though I think it will be a hell of a tough one.
That's obviously that's away at Falkirk as well.
Yeah, but those 5 after the split are just different games. It's a different animal. The pressure, the intensity is going to be mental.
Yeah, it will be.
And
I'm not looking
Mark
forward
Neal actually said something that I actually agree with. He said that all of these teams will create chances. Whoever takes more of their chances will win this league. And the only thing I'll say about Rangers to finish on them is 8 goals in 2 games from 8 different players is encouraging, in the sense that I don't think we're going to get a 20 goal striker or a 20 goal scorer, right? But if we can get everyone chipping in with one or two, it's only 6 games left. We don't need to turn anyone into a superstar. We just need to keep ticking it over, and we're doing that. And will it be enough? Time will tell. But if we move on to Sunday, should we talk about Livy Hearts first? Because I have to say that game was like I was watching 5 different games in 5 different countries, because the weather was mental.
That was mental.
I mean, it started off sunny, then it was windy and rainy,
and then
it was snowing.
Aye, that's right.
And then it was beautiful again.
Aye. That was happening here.
You just swore it was a highlights package from different games.
Aye, because
that way. I was like, what? And I didn't watch. I was watching it on my phone because it was obviously Easter Sunday, so we went to visit my wife's gran in the nursing home, and I kept checking my phone, and I was like, "Is this the same game? What's happening here?" I was like, "There's snow on the pitch," and then I was like, "Have I flicked on another game?"
Snow was mental. We get snow up our way as well. It was a bit mental.
But I think if we start with that one, I thought Stevie May took his goal really well.
Aye, good finish.
Then I think, to be honest, for about 10 minutes, I thought Livy were good.
They couldn't capitalise on scoring that first goal, though. See if they'd got a second goal.
From about 15 minutes till about half time, I thought Hearts were really good. And probably quite similar to Celtic. We'll come on to that. They actually looked really good, but really good without being clinical. So I'm pretty sure I read a stat today that Shankland had 12 shots on target yesterday.
God, 12,
which is the most of any individual in the season. But the way I look at it is, we only scored 1.
Well, that's right.
And I can't remember the keeper making a worldie.
He couldn't miss with that 4-heat he's got, though.
Well, no, but fair play. I mean, it's a good penalty.
He could land a helicopter on his 4-heat.
But I thought Hearts up until half time were brilliant, right? Then obviously it came out and it was like a different season, different conditions. And I felt Hearts started the second half quite well again, and then they got the second goal. And then, see, if I'm honest, I think they bottled it. because from the moment they went 2-1 up, they didn't look like scoring.
No,
And to
they
be
didn't.
honest with you, when it went two each, Livy were unlucky not to win the game. I'm not saying they deserved to win the game, but I'm just saying they were in the ascendancy
I
at two
was hoping
each.
they were going to win it. I was hoping they were going to win it, but
Also, was that
unfortunately,
they kept Rangers
no.
top, but that's not the
No,
point.
but
I think,
I wasn't the reason. I wasn't wanting that for that reason. I was wanting it so that we could be 2 points behind both of you rather than 3 points behind them and 2 points
but
behind yous.
I just think I'll take any drop points off any of your rivals
I
right
was
now.
I was happy with the
You know,
draw, but I'd have much preferred them to get beat.
but I think they probably deserved a point, if I'm honest. From if I look at the first half, I thought they were good, and I thought they were good. As I said, they were good for about till an hour. In the last half hour, they're terrible, but they were quite poor in the first 15. So if you balance that out, they've had about 45 minutes good and 45 minutes not so good.
Yeah.
But whereas if you compare when Celtic went there, right, I know it's under Nancy, right, but when Celtic went there, Celtic created, like, honestly, they must have created about 30 chances, right, and good chances. And Rangers, although we got a two each there, I mean, how many chances did Rangers create that day? I mean,
I know.
I think that was statistically our best XG. If you're a fan of all that crap, I'm not, but
No, me either.
I do remember the game though and going, how the hell are we not winning by about six? Like it was that mad, and you end up having to come for 2-0 down, and you're like, how we know miles ahead?
I
But
like what Martin O'Neill said though. He doesn't go. He doesn't deal in XG. He deals in RG, real goals, no
yeah,
expected goals.
but what I would say about that though is that, like, I'm just saying that I never felt that Hearts pinned them back the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to treat Hearts as like Rangers and Celtic now because they're in a title race. And if I was a Hearts fan, I'd be a wee bit worried that although they scored two goals, they don't look particularly clinical. And
No, they're kind of. I
I
think they're
don't
falling
think
away a bit.
I don't think they're bossing games in the same way as they did um, maybe before Christmas, if I'm honest. Um, but you know, fair play, they're still top of the league. And if you'd offered any Hearts fan at the start of the season, with 6 games to go, you'll be 1 point clear
Aye.
of
Oh, they
Rangers
took that.
and 3 clear of Celtic, they'd be like, oh, I'll take that all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, we're all in a position where we'd have taken some variation of this based on how mental a season it's been. So I think every Rangers fan, when Russell Martin's getting heckled out of the building, would have taken this. And Celtic fans, when they were watching Nancy play, would have went, we'll take that and all. If it's in our own hands, we'll take that.
Aye.
And but I think I'm not ruling Hearts out because while it's in their hands, it's in
No,
their
but
hands. It's in our hands.
you did say that you think that they're what is it? You said their bottle
I
is
said
crashed and
I think their bubbles burst
their
a wee
bubbles
bit.
burst. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I only think that because I look at their away games and even excluding the Rangers one, right? The three other games out of the last four have been away to St Mirren, away to Kilmarnock, away to Livingston.
Mm-hmm.
Three of the worst, in fact, statistically, the worst
The
three
three of the
teams in
worst
the league,
teams
right?
in the league. Aye.
And they've got 1 point out of 9. That would concern me that when you have to go Easter Road, Celtic Park, and Fir Park, where's the evidence that that's going to improve? And if they do only get 1 point, let's just say out of 9, they won't be winning the league. And
No,
I'm
they
just
won't.
being honest. I'm not being harsh because they could win their 3 home games, but if you can't
But that
pick it up on the
won't be
road, it
enough.
doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Like you need to be picking things up home and away, and
And away.
that's why like Celtic's form is terrible, right? They're a terrible football team to watch, right?
But we're
But they
picking up
grind them
points.
out.
Aye.
And Rangers at home were okay, but away Rangers are just as bad as Celtic. But
Yeah.
they've ground out enough to be within striking distance. And we'll come on to Celtic now though because
Yeah.
I don't think it was a particularly controversial game. I thought most decisions I thought were right.
Mm-hmm.
I think obviously Celtic start quite well, score the goal. I
Mm-hmm.
did think there was a hint of offside, but it wasn't because I was only concerned because when I seen it come off Yang, I went, wait a minute, was he in front of Nigren? Because if he was, then Nigren kicking it onto Yang
I
would
think the
have been
two of them were.
offside.
I think the two of them are level.
But I think Yang's toe is in line with the ball, and that's where it has to be. If he'd been
Well, it was
ahead of
Yang
the
that
ball,
Yang get the credit for the goal.
yeah, if Yang had been ahead of the ball, it would have been offside. But it was his toe was bang in line with it, so it's a fair goal. Because I seen a lot of debate online that it should have been. I looked at it, I sort of slowed it down and went, nah, it's for me, it's in line. A wee bit
What's
lucky
annoyed
though,
me?
because
Well,
Negrin tried to steal a goal and he almost cost you a goal.
he was
Because
celebrating,
him,
ran away celebrating as if he had
yeah,
scored.
but see if Yang had been slightly ahead, him getting involved in that could have cost you a goal because
You're
Yang was
right.
going to score.
That's right.
And I think that Negrin, that was a bit of selfishness you don't need in a title race. You need to,
No,
But
but
then I think
what
Celtic
annoyed me
were.
about it, Murray, is the fact that
Mhm.
when we scored that goal, we did play well for a wee while, but we couldn't capitalise on it again, letting score the second
But
goal
that's because you don't have a
to kind
good
of kill the
striker,
game off. I know.
and
Well, we'll
neither
come
do
to that.
we.
We'll
Yeah,
come to
because
that. I mean,
Transfara's he's terrible. I mean, his
this,
build-up play's decent, right?
see the
He got in
chances
the
he
right
had.
positions, but he didn't look like he could score in a brothel.
I mean,
Like
he's hit that shot. He's cleared the goalkeeper. He's obviously cleaned through the goalkeeper. Chipped the goalie, and he's managed to hit the post. He could have even
well,
taken the ball in the goalie and put it in the
I
net.
seen a start, right? Because obviously, let's not include Adamu, right? Because well, even if we did, right, he's been useless. But
He's hardly kicked the ball
out
anyway.
of your main two strikers, Iheanacho and Transfara, right?
Hmm.
They've scored 6 goals, right, between them, right?
Right.
Half of them have been penalties.
I
So
know. I know.
they're not
It's no
looking
good.
like they're the sort of guys that you can hang your hat on.
But I think
But obviously, yous
a
have got
fully
away with
fit.
it because Negrin has done that,
I know that, but
and
a fully fit
Yang's
Iheanacho
popped
for
up the
me
bits.
is our best striker
I
if he's
agree,
fully fit.
and that just like I said, when Miovski's our best finisher, but I don't think he's our best striker. So I do think that Miovski will continue to be a sub, but I think Iheanacho might continue to be a sub in certain games
Uh,
because I don't know that he can
Me
do.
personally, if he can stay fit, I don't know, but if he can stay fit and keep fit,
Depends
then
how, but
I would start him in most of the games because he
yeah,
looks like the most natural guy to score goals up front.
very similar in fitness wise to with us we do John Sterling. Like
Mm.
if that guy could be fit, he'd be starting every game. But he can't.
Aye, but I'm pretty sure there was a point in the game. Can't remember who was running through, and he get pulled back. But that wasn't a booking or a red card for
I
that. I
can't
mean, you're
remember.
thinking,
I said I felt in the first half Celtic were good. Second half I thought you're quite poor.
we
Um,
were, and then obviously that culminated in them getting the
Dundee
penalty,
got the
which was a
penalty, which I
penalty.
don't. Nobody can argue with. It's
It was
heading
a
towards
penalty.
the goal. I still don't like it. I still
No,
don't like it as a penalty because
no.
I don't think it's. I don't think
Where
it's
else?
remarkably unnatural.
But
But
he's no deliberately
uh,
handballed it either.
yeah, but near the Sterling in the cup game, and you still want that penalty because it's going towards goal. And
Hmm.
and, and do you know the thing is, I would love it if they weren't given. If I'm honest, right, if we're being really honest and saying I don't want them as penalties because I only want it to be a deliberate action.
But in any case, we're arguing. I mean, we were watching it. The pub, the
But you
guys were
can't
all
because
saying
you
that it
know
was a
you've got
penalty. We all knew
ones
it was a penalty.
similar, and you go, well, aye, well, I need
Do you
to
know what annoyed me
accept.
about
But
it? They've spoke to him on VAR about that, and he still went to the monitor to check it out. They could have
how
just
the
said
hell
to him,
can't
"Look,
I know? But I don't know how he can't see it though. I
I
mean, he
know,
was
but it's.
yards away.
But even the guys in the VAR room could have just said to him, "Look, it's a stonewall
I know,
handball. It's a penalty."
but yeah. So I thought, but then I thought Dundee were the better side for about
Aye, after they
15
scored
minutes
their
after the goal,
equaliser. Aye,
and
and that got me
they,
worried.
I've got to admit, the boy down the left wing, Yogan, he gave Donovan and Ralston a toilet time.
Hmm.
I thought he was excellent, but then excellent to the point of everything up to his cross or shot. Because,
Yeah.
but I thought, yeah, Celtic, they did enough because obviously they go up and score the winner, and as I said earlier,
It was
like
a nice finish.
I don't think it's a foul. I can
No.
see why some do because we see a lot of goals chopped off for very nothing fouls.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I think the defender needs to be stronger.
But I thought it was a nice finish anyway. It was a really
Yeah,
nice finish.
yeah. Well, he just blast it, didn't he? Like, he
Aye,
just. But that's
that's what you do.
sometimes what
You
you need
put
to
your
do.
foot through it, of course. Aye.
Um, but I didn't think Celtic were. Like, I seen some people saying Celtic were excellent. I was like, I don't think they
No,
were excellent. I think they
no,
were
definitely
good.
not.
You know, like because. But at the same time, I think they deserved their win. I thought they were
They
the
were
better
good.
side.
I'd say they were good in the first half when they scored. Now, obviously, they scored early. They were good up
Yeah.
until that point, and then they just couldn't get the second goal before half time to kill the game off a bit.
And then I don't think we can have any arguments over the red card because it's just
No,
one of those ones that,
it was a
again,
red
I don't
card.
think there's a great deal of contact, but he's running through on goal.
Aye, that's right.
That's what it is. I mean,
That's
but
the reason he's got the red card, because it
quite
looks like
similar
a
to his
goal scoring
trusty one
chance.
against Hearts, where I don't think there's a great deal of contact, but as soon as they show him running through on goal, you're not going to. You can't argue it. Can it? It's no one of them. It's one of them you can go away and say,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it, but it is.
But that's what it is. That is what it is. That's it.
But it sets us up now for obviously a 6-game mini league. And by
That's
the way,
it.
let me run this by you, right? Because I don't want it to happen, but it could happen.
Right.
If Celtic beats St Mum,
Mm-hmm.
if Motherwell beat Hearts, and if Rangers draw with Falkirk,
Yeah.
we're all in the same points going into the split.
Oh, that would
And
be
I told
something,
you
wouldn't
this
it?
about 6 weeks ago. I said this could happen, right?
Mm.
And we kind of laughed because I just sort of looked at the fixtures and felt, there could be wee draws here. And
Mm-hmm.
I probably didn't expect you to lose at Dundee United,
Dundee
but I thought you
United,
might
no.
lose at Dens.
Me neither. I didn't
And
expect that either.
but whereas Rangers, I kind of expected to win their games, and I thought Falkirk would be the tough one before the split, and it will be. But that's a mad thing, isn't it? I mean, Rangers would probably be top of the league based on goal difference, but imagine going into the last 5 games,
That would
and
be
we're
a
all
bit
on.
mental.
I think we'd all be on 67 points, something like
Round
that.
about that. Yep.
And it's just a 5-game shootout. I mean, and
It's
by the way, that
I don't
doesn't
think
seem.
my heart couldn't take it.
But by the way, that
What?
doesn't seem that unrealistic, does it? A
No.
home win for Celtic, a draw for Rangers away to Falkirk,
Mm-hmm.
and Motherwell, who are technically the best football team in the league, if they nicked a win against Hearts, it could happen.
Could happen.
I don't think it necessarily will, but I'm just saying,
Stranger things have happened.
I don't think that I'd sit there and go, that's like, it's not like one of them where you go, right, for this to happen, Celtic need to lose 6-0 to St Mirren, and Rangers need to lose 4. Like, that's unrealistic, but
Well, the
that
goal
set of
difference is terrible. We
that
need to get
set
the
of
goal difference up.
fixtures, that set of fixtures for me, that's not unthinkable.
But see, in terms of goal difference, the goal difference and all that doesn't. It's not that it doesn't bother me. See, as long as we win games and we pick
Yeah.
up the 3 points, that
I
doesn't
think
really matter.
I don't think I'll look at it until we've played yous again. Now, I know that sounds iffy, right? But if we come out of that and, like, let's just say we're 2 points clear of yous, then I might start to go, oh, for 9 points clear, right? Sorry, for 9 goals clear, I might go, that's an extra point. And I start to think we could draw a game that yous win and still be ahead. But see, until you get to that sort of last 2 or 3 games, it's just irrelevant to me.
I certainly wouldn't want it finishing on. I don't want to lose the league on goal difference.
You've done it before.
I know it's a horrible way to lose
Memories.
a league. I know. Shut up.
That's a great day.
Aye.
But
I've erased that from my memory.
But I tell you what, though, those 2 teams were far. In fact,
far better than the teams we've got now.
Right. If Rangers and Celtic for 2002-03, right, had just the 22 players, right, against the 33 players of Hearts, Rangers, and Celtic right now, they'd have still won.
Well, Celtic discussed it. I won the league easy.
They're so.
Henrik Larsson and all that, Sutton, Hartson, you name it.
That Rangers
Petrov.
team, I mean, remember that Rangers? I mean, we must have scored. I mean, I think Barry Ferguson scored 18 from midfield, and
Paul Lambert.
Ronald de Boer got about 20. Lovenkrantz, Arveladze. Oh, I mean, Moles. I mean, come on. Now we can't even get a striker to get double figures.
Oh, no, it's terrible.
But
that's unheard of at Celtic or Rangers.
I know, but then you look at that team where you're like that, your backup strike. I mean, Stephen Thompson that year was signed, right, and he scored 9 between January and the end of the season. He's done that in his whole season.
Aye. Yeah. But you can only do it against the big teams. You can't do it against the wee teams.
Well, luckily, we've still got using Hearts to play, so he should be able to add to his numbers.
He might be injured by then. You never know.
No, he'll definitely score against using Hearts and do fuck all against the other 4 games. But do you know what, though? One thing we've not touched on, which we can just before the end.
Yeah.
6 games to go, but Celtic have 4 at Parkhead.
That's right.
2 away. Hearts have 3 at home and 3 away. Rangers have 2 at home and 4 away.
Well, that's an advantage.
Now, I know that sounds bad, right? But, and I'm not being big-headed, right? But if we
need
go
to
to
make that
Falkirk
count.
twice, and if we beat them twice, then that home away thing just disappears, because then you go, we've got 2 at home, 2 away.
I know, but
You
we
know,
need to make the fact that we've got the 4 home games. We need to make that count. We need
yeah,
to
but it's
win the
tough games, though. I mean, you
I
look at
know
your
it
4
is.
games. You've got St
I
Mirren, who
know.
are fighting for their lives. You're going to have
This is
Rangers,
why we're
Hearts.
going to need the fans right behind them.
Is it likely to be Rangers, Hearts, and Falkirk? Probably isn't it? You're probably going to get Falkirk at home again,
You think so?
because we are probably going to go to Falkirk for a 3rd time, just the way it works.
So do you
Because you
think
need to have 9
So we'll have Falkirk at Celtic Park then, you think?
for a 3rd time, aye.
And then we'll have Motherwell away.
Motherwell and Hibs away.
Motherwell, Hibs away. Falkirk, Rangers and Hearts at Celtic Park.
Yep, and Rangers will have Celtic, Hearts, and Falkirk away, and we'll have Motherwell and Hibs at home.
Right. But we don't know in what order yet, but we'll find that out.
We certainly will. I mean, they should be releasing it this week. I mean, I know.
Well, I was actually going to ask you that. No, well, they shouldn't they'll not release it until after these fixtures are
They
done.
won't, but they should, because all the standings are going to be the same.
Aye, but
Like, no one can go
I was
into the
actually going to
top
ask you that. When do you think the fixtures will be released?
It'll be next Monday.
Oh, next
It'll
Monday.
be-
So it'll be before the cup game then.
Aye,
the
aye,
cup
aye.
weekend. Right.
It'll be.
I thought they'd have released it the Monday after the cup game.
No, because you're probably
they normally
playing
like
4 or
to-
5 days later.
I
You
know
need to know
that,
where
but
you're going.
they like to keep the supporters in suspense, don't they?
No, hopefully not.
For as long as possible.
But I have to say, it's going to be mayhem. I mean, no one's going to be happy.
No.
But the scenario, though, that we could have Hearts, Rangers, and Motherwell Celtic final day, I think would be brilliant. If we're all still in it. But by the way, it wouldn't surprise you.
I know.
But I think they'll try their best to get Hibs, Hearts, Rangers, Celtic in the first 2 weeks. Because I don't think they'll want any.
We normally tend to play using the second game after the split, so probably will be the second.
I think they'll try and do it Edinburgh Derby first weekend.
Right.
Rangers Celtic second weekend.
So do you think we'll be at home against Falkirk then in the first weekend, or?
See, I think we might be away to Falkirk first weekend, and
Right, so that means we'd play Motherwell.
You could go to No, I think you could go to Easter Road.
Easter Road. Oh wait, no.
No. If Hibs are playing
if Hibs are playing Hearts, you just said
you could. Well, we could. Because we could play. We could play Motherwell at home, I suppose, in that one. But then I don't want Rangers to play a home game first game, because then we'll have 3 of our last 4 away. Do you know what I mean?
That would be good. That would be good. I'd like that. For obvious
because obviously, as a Rangers fan, I kind of would love a home game last game of the season, but I know it's probably not going to happen.
So I would love a home game, I know, especially if we chance we could win the league.
It's looking like. I mean, there is a scenario. Right? How would you like this as a scenario, though? Right, final day of the season. Right, Rangers away to Falkirk.
Right.
Celtic away.
No, we'd be home. If you're away, we'd be home.
Because there is obviously we could do it that way, because we could do 2 home games in the midweek fixture, because we could play one Tuesday, one Wednesday. You can't do it.
Have we still got a midweek game coming up?
One midweek, aye. And it's likely that Rangers will be at home that one, from what I've heard.
So we'll be away then, again.
I think so. But if imagine the last week, though, last game, if what I'm saying though is, if you were at Easter Road, Hearts were at Motherwell, we were at Falkirk, so we're all away.
Mm-hmm.
That could be fun.
Oh, I wouldn't like that.
Because obviously we can't have us all at home, because you can't have Rangers and Celtic playing.
Well, you can't have them both playing at home in the same. No.
You can get away with it in the midweek one, because you can have one Tuesday, one Wednesday.
You could, aye. That's the only way it would work, obviously.
Yeah, and you could get away with it on one of the earlier weekends, where you could have one Saturday, one Sunday. That has happened before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we played Kilmarnock after the split, and you played Aberdeen a couple of years ago. We played the Sunday, you played the Saturday. It was just the way the fixtures went.
Right.
So we'll find out. We've got loads of time to chew over that.
And then I'm sure when we get the split fixtures named, we'll obviously be doing a pod. If it's a Monday they get released, we'll be doing the pod on the Monday, and then we can talk about them.
We can go through, kind of probably predict the end of the season, which will be difficult. But let's get this last game out of the way. So we'll come back on Friday. We'll do our predictions for
the weekend's matches.
Weekend, and you know what? You wouldn't be surprised to see drop points again.
I certainly wouldn't. No,
I mean,
not after that
I'll just
weekend there.
quickly run through what the games are though, because
Mm-hmm.
it's top and the bottom big games. So in the bottom, I suppose we can do this now. At the bottom, you've got Aberdeen Hibs. So I've got to say, I fancy Hibs to go to Aberdeen and win.
Mm-hmm.
Celtic St Mirren. You've got Dundee United Livy. You've got Hearts Motherwell. You've got Kelly Dundee. That's a big one because
Aye, that is a
Kelly are
big
only
one.
2 behind Dundee,
Mm-hmm.
which is mad. And then you've got obviously Falkirk Rangers. So
Right. Well, I've got hold on a second if I can get this mouse to work. See, I will get it to work now. Just I've got a wee comment here. I just wanted to bring in. Evening, guys. Do we know who Celtic are most likely to get in the first game of the split?
we
Well,
don't,
we've
but
just been debating that.
I think Celtic are likely to be at home because I think they're going to try their best to get. I mean, it could be Celtic Rangers. They
I
might do
doubt
it.
it. Not in the first game after the split. I can't imagine it.
But they might do it just to get out of the way, so it's no way is it going to be any deciding.
No, I suppose you can't get it as a deciding game then for the league.
Yeah.
But then when has it ever been the first game after the split? Ever?
It has happened. It happened. See that year that one of the leagues that we used beat us 2-1, and I remember Bellamy scoring.
Mm.
That was the first game after the split because I remember that because you should just came back for you. Well, one of us had not the European one, that was horrible, but it was the Bellamy one a couple of years later.
Aye.
Where I think you beat us 2-1. That was first game after the split.
Right.
So I think that would be the sensible thing.
But it's a rarity. It very rarely
I'll
happens.
tell you what would be good though. It'd be really good if they did the Edinburgh Derby the Saturday morning, Hibs Falkirk in the Falkirk Hibs in the afternoon, then Rangers Celtic. Celtic Rangers on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a follow-up comment.
I think it's probably like to be. It'll definitely be 12, won't it? For if it's the derby.
It'll definitely be TV, so it won't be 3 p.m. It'll be 12 or half 12.
Yeah.
And it's more likely to be a Sunday if it's a derby as well. I don't very rarely have them on a Saturday, do they?
No, it tends to be Ibrox on a Saturday and Celtic Park on the Sunday. I don't know why.
That's strange. Really weird.
But no, I think I would get it out of the way because at least then you can have no controversy of.
Aye.
And to be honest with you, I'd probably get the Celtic Hearts, Rangers Hearts out the way as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then should we? I'd like a title decider, like I would, but I don't know. I think they'll try their best. I do think they'll try their best to get.
You're welcome.
These games out as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I think by this time next week, we'll know the fixtures.
Aye, so, Monday next week, I would imagine they'd be released.
Yep. So that'll be fun. We can debate them all then.
Mm-hmm.
And we can.
That'll be fun. But not.
Do you know what? That'll be it'll be good. I mean.
Aye, but. I'm not looking forward. I know, but I'm not looking actually looking forward to the games as well, though, because it's going to be a nail biter, and I don't like that.
I said to you the other day, Rick, that it wouldn't. I don't think Rangers or Celtic or Hearts will win another game this season comfortably.
You did say that.
And
see, as long as we win, I don't care.
It's going to be a hard watch. 1-4-2, but it wasn't comfortable. Celtic 1-2-1 wasn't comfortable.
No.
Even against 10 men, you somehow struggled to see it out.
at this stage of the season, it doesn't matter how you win as long as you win.
Exactly. It's just about winning. But I don't see anyone going out and going, right, 4-0, right, 3 points, next game.
Aye.
I just don't think the quality's there. Unless you get like an early red card or something that goes a bit mental.
Something
like
controversial.
Man could get a red card in the first minute or whatever, and all of a sudden,
changes the game. Could be an early goal. It could change a game as well.
Because you've got St Mirren twice in a week.
Aye, we've got them in the league, and then obviously.
You know my theory. You always have one good result and one iffy. Remember last year I told you with the cup final with Aberdeen, I said, you'll pump them in the league and then they'll beat you in the cup.
Aye, we did.
And then remember St Mirren this year? St Mirren, you's beating the league, and then a couple of weeks later they beat you in the cup.
I just don't like the fact that we play the same team 2 weeks in a trot in the league and the cup. It's a
Nothing you can
stupid
do there.
setup. That it's a daft
There's nothing
setup.
you can do about
I
how
know,
you're going to
but
do it.
it's just so annoying. Yeah.
But that's what it is. But I mean, I think the cup games will be pretty close though. Whether it's Dunfermline, Falkirk, or Celtic St Mirren, I don't see any side squishing it.
No,
What do you
it
think
will be a
Falkirk
tough.
will
It'll be
squish
a
it?
tough
Even
game.
though that's a wee derby, isn't it?
I've Falkirk and Dunfermline.
Falkirk and Dunfermline, they don't like each other, and
No.
not far away from each other.
Mm-hmm. But as I said, it maybe it could look toward maybe a Lennon against a Neil final. I mean, that would be fun. Not, but it'd be
St
good.
Mirren could be on for a cup double.
Mm. No, me personally, I'd love the Anil Lennon final.
I'm
I'd love
telling
that.
you, Falkirk are going to be in it. It's written in the stars.
Oh, they
for
will.
my nephew.
They'll be in and about it, but I would prefer it to be.
Just because his communion's that day, and he's desperate just to get rid of that communion and get straight to Hampden.
That's if they get through. That's if they get through. They'll need
Find out in a couple of weeks. But we'll leave it there, and we'll come back on Friday, and we'll do our proper predictions.
Yep.
Cool. Right. Well, enjoy the rest of your time in Arbroath.
I will do, and thanks everybody for watching tonight and the comments as well. And keep them coming when we do these videos, and subscribe and like the videos as well to the channel because we want to grow it.
Yep.
But
cool.
yep.
Right.
But yep. Thanks.
Right, see you later.
Again.
Then,
right. See you later.
Bye.
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 Bye.